Hello, my name is Sarah Gonzalez, and I am a current student at Grand Canyon University in the master's degree program for teaching. And I'm going to be answering 3 questions based on the Dispositions to Teach self-assessment survey, and these were provided by our professor, Jamie Morris. So the first question is, what dispositions do you possess that you think will make you a successful teacher? And the first one is, educators should be sensitive to individual learning and embrace cultural diversity of the community. I think that it's very important to be sensitive to individual learning, which means that many students learn different ways, and being open to that is very important to me. I do believe that I would like to incorporate different methods in order to make sure that everybody's comfortable. And also the next one kind of goes along with this, which is promote social justice and equity and exercising fairness. And I believe that I am a person who very much promotes social justice, including that of like the LGBT community or anyone who has ever felt racially discriminated against. These are things that I seriously take into account, and I feel like those are not things that should be evaluated based on someone's grades or something that they get based off of an exam. So those are 2 that I think that I possess already. And the last one is a commitment to the profession of teaching and learning. And I think that for me, this is something that I want to continue with my education and follow through with, because there's always something changing in the educational community, and whether it's methodology or an advancement in technology, these are things that make teaching better, and learning about them and how to utilize them is something that I seriously hope for myself in the future. And the next question is, what do you need to work on before entering a classroom? And the first one is definitely exercising sound judgment and ethical behavior. I'm not saying that I'm not an ethical person, but I do believe that I do need to mature a little bit more before entering the classroom and as a teacher, full-time teacher. One of the things that I for sure need to work on is I would like to quit smoking cigarettes before I enter the classroom, because I want to be the best role model that I can be, and that includes not having children know or see or smell the fact that I have a habit, and that habit is very detrimental to my health, and I do not want students thinking that it's okay for them. So in that aspect, that is one thing that I think I really need to work on. And another is becoming more involved in community outreach and making time to support it. Over the last couple of years, I have been making a few excuses as to why I cannot volunteer more. And while that time has already passed and I can't fix that, something that I want to work on in the future is becoming more involved in my community to help it grow and be safe, and, have educators like myself really support the needs of students and our younger generations. And lastly, for what I need to work on is learning how to set student goals individually. So while I do believe that I am sensitive to the learning of others, I do think that I could use a little bit more educating on the differences between how you teach students, and taking those into account when I get into the classroom. So I do not have as much experience as some other students my age at this point in the classroom. I have volunteered in a couple of classrooms, but I have not gotten that full student-teacher experience yet. So I want to be able to really work on that and set that as a goal for myself. And lastly, the third question is, what does a professional educator look like? and how do they behave and what standards guide their thinking and actions. And growing up, I've always had educators around me. My mom has always been friends with many different educators, as well as growing up with cousins who have gone through becoming an educator. And I would have to say that these are people who are committed to their students' success, and they are kind but stern, understanding yet fair, and they help their students grow by being a leader who is open to new ideas and adapts to any situation. And I think that their standards are set by personal reflection and moderation and working towards goals that are set for their students. And I think this is important because I don't think that many people outside of the educational community understand how much adaptation goes into teaching a classroom. And it really is based on your students' needs. So that is something that I've taken into account over the last couple of years, and I'm really interested to see how things go for myself and how I progress as my own personal educator. And I'm very excited to continue my education and head towards becoming a professional educator. Thank you.